Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys, brought to you by the National Hockey Now Network. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, presented by National Hockey Now, Saturday, February 18th, Ian Cameron. And our Saturday guest is back with us here today. He's coming out of a sickness, an illness, not feeling his best, but he's playing through it today and starting to get back to 100%, and he's with us again after a few Saturdays away. I think he's missed the last couple. Of course, we had one Saturday where we didn't have a show because of the All-Star break, so he technically only missed one Saturday. But happy to have him back. He's the player prop wizard. I like to call him that. Here on the show, former pro hockey goalie Kevin Beach. Follow him on Twitter at Beachbody as well. Kevin, welcome back. Good to have you back on your Saturday spot.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Good to be back. Had some family in town. Was kind of showing them around Nashville. Then, of course, then you're burning the candle at both ends. Not getting your sleep. You're out and about, and that's when the sickness strikes in. But I was telling you last week, I've never missed a day of hockey for being sick before. And you can play through no voice and stuff, but when you're doing the broadcast, you kind of need the voice there. So had to skip a Saturday, but good to be back.
Yeah, no doubt. Good to be back. Good to have you back here on the Ice Guys show. How are you doing in Nashville, by the way? Now you've been down there for, I think, quite a few months now, several maybe at this point that you've been down there. You're feeling comfortable. You enjoying the surroundings there in Nashville. We know it's got a great lit downtown core. Just how's the Nashville experience going for Kevin Beach?
Yeah, it's something different every week. I'm enjoying it. Might hit up after we get done with this, head down to the Preds game. Watch the Panthers are in town. Last week it was Nelly. Nelly was in town, so you never know what you get.
It was getting hot in there, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, although he doesn't have it anymore, so it wasn't too hot. But I recommend skipping him if he's in town.
Review.
But yeah.
He's lost a step. Yeah. He's like Ryan Suter. He's lost a few steps. Yeah, doesn't have it.
But
anymore.
you know who's still got it? Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah. So if those guys come to town, catch Ja Rule, but you can leave before Nelly comes on stage. So
there you go. We remember him. Holla, holla, and everybody that be living it up. There we go. That's my Ja Rule impression. Don't let me get started on rap karaoke, or else the show will be 5 hours long. So we'll move on to hockey-related matters. Just briefly on Friday night, was a really good night, actually. Aside from Alex DeBrincat props, it was a really good night for me. On the NHL slate last night, we had some good, solid winners. The Islanders came back for me. I was on the Islanders and over 5.5 against the Penguins. What a weird game. Penguins dominated, but lose 5-4. Just one of those games where everything that the Islanders had in terms of chances went in the net. Rangers, Oilers, I took over 6.5. I know some people were concerned at 7 that maybe now's the time to bet under. Not with the Rangers right now. They are an over machine. They're a over dead nuts over team right now. They've got offense like crazy, especially after adding Tarasenko and how it's just lengthened the lineup. They've got great depth now all of a sudden up front, scoring goals in bunches, and they come all the way back to beat Edmonton last night. Minnesota, a huge 2 points for them. They beat the Dallas Stars. I got the draw in that game at plus 320. I was also hoping the Stars would win, but they end up losing in a shootout. And LA and Anaheim last night. LA with the 6-3 victory. I was on LA first period puck line, the over, so that game went well. Kempe scored a goal. I was on his prop, so that was a really good game for me from a betting standpoint. But what was not good was we were robbed. We were screwed out of a goalie fight in that game between Phoenix Copley and John Gibson. The referee and linesman have to get the fuck out of there and let the two guys go. Clearly, Gibson slapped his stick on the ice there. He wanted Copley to, notice him, pay attention, and Copley was ready to throw down. He was about to race to center ice to drop the mitts with Gibson, and the referees and the linesmen wanted no part of it, and they made sure it didn't happen. That was very frustrating. We haven't had a goalie fight in the NHL in a very long time. I'm trying to remember, I think you have to go all the way back to there was one with I think it was Miller and Bernier in a Sabre Leaf preseason game a long time ago. It was like Jonathan Bernier and Ryan Miller got into it, but it hasn't been very many in the NHL in goalie fights. Kevin, you'd get the job done in a goalie fight. I'm pretty sure of it. You'd be able to hold your own. I think you'd be more the Phoenix Copley there, where you'd be ready to take on somebody if the situation warranted it.
I've been in a few. I've won. Yeah, I've won with the Erie Otters where I was going down to fight Steve Mason, and the referee takes me out. At the time, I thought he took me out pretty hard, but when you look back at the replay, he barely touched me when I went down. But if I get past the ref, then yeah, goalie, look out on their end there.
No, that was I was hoping we would see that, and unfortunately, we got robbed of it last night. And but definitely that was fun to watch. And so how many? You said you were in one of those? Just that one time? Have there been some near misses in terms of you almost got into one?
There's been 3 times I've skated to their end. One, the ref took me out. Another one, by the time I got down there, everyone was done fighting, and they were kind of just like standing around in a circle, like when you show up to school. And I just kind of joined the circle, and everyone was looking at me, going like, "What are you doing?" And so I kind of just went up, pushed the goalie, and everyone was still looking at me. I was like, "Okay, I guess it's embarrassing. I got to skate back down to my end." So took a 2-minute minor for crossing the red line, and then had one other one with a buddy, and it was a pretty good show for the fans, but we had a good time. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's
the odd laugh in the middle of the fight, but and then we got kicked out. We were up sitting in the stands together, watching the rest of the game. So that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, you know what the thing is too? The goalies will fight each other, then they'll go for a cold brew and a pint after the game or down the road, and they'll reminisce on good times when we fought each other during a game. That's the way it is in hockey, that's for sure. But yeah, I was so upset. I wanted to see it last night, but it is what it is. Didn't happen. NHL fans across the world getting robbed last night that they didn't see Copley versus Gibson. All right, we've got the Saturday slate now to break down. It is a huge slate, so it's time to get down to business here. 13 games, in fact, and we will begin with the first of what is 4 afternoon affairs here in the NHL today on this Saturday. Florida Panthers, Nashville Predators. As you mentioned, Kevin, you've got some interest maybe going to this game. Florida minus 130, road favorite, 6.5 the total in this one. I'm just going to keep it pretty simple and straightforward here. I like Florida, minus 125. Actually, it's gone up to minus 130. It's just we're going to keep fading Nashville here at this point in time. They're just not playing well. That was a lifeless, lethargic game against Boston. Boston's a great team, obviously, but to be that poor again, offense has dried up, offense has disappeared. It's been a rough go here for the Predators now. Just one win is since the All-Star break, and it came against the Philadelphia Flyers in overtime, 2-1 by the skin of their teeth. It was a dreadful game at home against Vegas. It wasn't any better against Arizona. And then, of course, the shutout against Boston. That's 3 home losses. 0-3 they are here at home since the All-Star break as well, this Nashville team. So it's been a rough go. Florida with the 6-3 win against Washington on Thursday night. They'll look to keep it going here. It's worth noting Florida's come into Nashville and beaten the Predators 2 straight times that they have visited Music City. We'll see if that rolls on here, but really nothing more to add other than that. I think we see Florida take care of business here. And the total's a tough one because certainly Florida, I'm interested in playing their games over the total. I can't say the same thing about Nashville right now with some of their offensive woes. They have struggled to put the puck in the net, 2 goals or less in 4 straight games. For the Predators, just 6 goals total in those 4 games. So nothing on the total. I do like Florida. What do you like here, Kevin? Florida, Nashville.
I'm in the same boat here. I like the Panthers to come in and kind of take care of business here. The Preds have not been too impressive lately. I agree on that over/under total. You still got. Not sure if Philip Forsberg is back in the lineup tonight or today. I'm not sure if he's getting back in, but. With him out of the lineup, the Preds do kind of struggle to score goals. The prop I'm jumping on, though, is Carter Verhaeghe. Yep. It is 3.5, the line I have, which is, a tough number to hit.
Though. He's been going over that number.
But 8 of the last 10, he's been over that. And I'm seeing plus money on that as well, plus 135. But it's already dropped down to plus 130 for me in the last couple hours. So it's been getting played for sure. But yeah, those are my 2 plays. So again, keep it simple. Panthers money line, and then I like Verhaeghe to have 4+ shots here.
Yeah, in terms of this game, this is a good game in terms of some props as well. The shot, I like that one. I like Carter Verhaeghe over shots on goal. It's been something we've been coming back to the well with consistently. The one I like even more than that on the Florida side over shots on goal is Aaron Ekblad. I mean, what he is doing right now in terms of shots on goal, it's just he's pounding the puck a lot from the blue line. Obviously, he plays the number one power play for this Florida team. I mean, look at the numbers here, Beachy, since January the 3rd. Look what we've seen: 4, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, 6, 5, 3, 6 in terms of his shots on goal numbers. He's been automatic. He's been absolutely dialed in terms of shooting the puck early and often. And as a result, his over the shots on goal prop has been going over repeatedly, consistently in every single game. And I've been on it now. And I was late to the party. I didn't jump on this Aaron Ekblad over shots on goal streak until a few games ago, but I've been on it every single game since then. They've made an adjustment now, 3.5. It is worth noting. We've had a lot of 2.5s lately with Ekblad, but I think still at over 3.5, and you get plus money at least. Plus 110, plus 120 is out there for Aaron Ekblad over 3.5. So I think he's still got a great chance to clear that and get to at least 4. If you look at this stretch where Ekblad has played for the Panthers, he's actually gotten a 4+ more often than not. During this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 game stretch where he's gone 3+ shots, he's actually gone 4+ in 7 of those, 8 of those 10 games. So, yeah, I think over 3. So when you think of it, 8 of his last 10, he's had 4+ shots. You're asking to bet over 3.5 at plus 120. It's actually a pretty good bet, in my opinion. So, yeah, Ekblad.
Yeah, I like that fine. I'm going to jump on that as well.
Yeah, Aaron Ekblad over 3.5 shots has been a good one lately. No question about that for the Florida Panthers. So that's a good prop there to look at here in this game. I'm just trying to see what else. Got my prop sheets out because we've got these streaking prop players that I can always look at it. And these it tells you who's in good form, who's been kind of going over their shots on goal prop and their assists and points and all that repeatedly. I'm just looking at the numbers here for today's card. But yeah, that's one that stands out. As far as points go, you sprinkle around in terms of the Florida Panthers because so many people can do the damage offensively for them. But definitely it's been, Lusterinen continues to be solid. Lindell, has been since he's been up in the top 6 forward group, he's been able to produce for this Florida Panthers team. So definitely lots to like here. Right now. And you know what? There's another one you could look at here in terms of shots on goal for Florida. I'm just looking at it. Sam Reinhart over 2.5 shots on goal. It's only minus 120. Here's a guy that's gone 3+ shots on goal for the Florida Panthers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8 of his last 9. He's gone over his shots on goal prop. That's Sam Reinhart here for the Florida Panthers. So there's another good one, and it's only over 2.5 here. For that. So definitely some good numbers there with the SOG props on the Florida Panthers side here in this game. Now, shop around because I'm seeing over 2.5 as low as minus 120 for Reinhart at a couple books, Unibet, Bet Rivers, and then there's some books that have them as high as minus 160. So there is a lot of variance with the price with that Reinhart shots on goal prop. So make sure you shop around. And make sure you get the best price you can. All right, Colorado and St. Louis. We've got the Avs minus 180, road favorites, 6 the total in this one. I'm on Avs in regulation here and the over, both of them. And even with Justus Onanen in net for the Colorado Avalanche, we've learned that he's going to get the start. They're going to give Georgiev much-needed rest. I mean, Francouz is still out, so they decided, we'll give Justus Onanen this opportunity here in net. As Francouz is still going to be out for a few more weeks with the lower body injury. Down in the AHL this year, 2.55 goals against average, 912 save percentage. Of course, the St. Louis Blues, I can't believe we didn't mention this off the top, but we will now. The big trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs last night, Ryan O'Reilly Auto Parts. He's gone to Toronto along with Noel Acciari. In that big trade with the Leafs. And, of course, draft picks coming back the other way. So the St. Louis Blues sell-off is firmly underway. Well, it was already underway because they traded Tarasenko to the Rangers. But definitely it's on in full force now. And certainly that takes away not only offense but defense. And it does from Noel Acciari, too. Noel Acciari is a really good defensive forward. And I think that's what Toronto saw in trading for him because he's very good away from the puck. So you lose both of those guys. And, of course, O'Reilly's been injured for the last period of time, or he's been in and out due to injuries. But certainly now with him gone, you look at the situation for St. Louis. That's a lot of offense and a great defensive presence, a forward face-off presence. That's another thing too, Kevin. I think you factor in with St. Louis, they're going to be much worse at the face-off circle now without Ryan O'Reilly, which means they may not have the puck as much. And obviously, it's such a puck possession-dominated sport these days that's probably going to be something where they suffer quite a bit. So I like Colorado to get the job done, and obviously I'm going to take them in regulation to get a better price. You can get I don't even mind the first period puck line on Colorado either, because they might pounce early on this Blues team, but I definitely like Avs in regulation here. In this game, you can get that currently at -110 at Pinnacle, and I also like over 6 -120 as well. Blues continue to be mostly an over team. The last game against New Jersey fell right on 6 goals a push, but I think this one's got a good chance to go over the number as well. What do you think here in this one, Kevin? Colorado, St. Louis.
Yeah, the Blues. They've won some games recently. They won the last 3, so this is one I probably would have stayed away from. Once I saw that trade pulled last night, with the way the Avs have been the last 10, I just feel like this. Yeah, I like Colorado here on the money line, and I jumped on it last night. It was, for me, I got -167 on the money line. I woke up this morning, it was -180, and now for me, it's already moved to -190. So it's a lot of money coming in on Colorado. I was able to jump on it before, like once that trade happened, basically get on it before that line moved too much. But yeah, I kind of see with those pieces moving out, especially O'Reilly out of the lineup, I see now kind of that letdown. And the Avs, I think this is a big charge for them here, this last group of games. So I'm on Avs money line as well. I like that. But my prop, Evan Rodriguez here, over 2.5 shots. He's on the second line with Rantanen. He's hit it in 6 of his last 7 games, so he's a guy I'm going to look for in my prop of the game here. Is Evan Rodriguez over 2.5.
Reading my mail. I love that prop. Shots on goal over 2.5 as well. That's a good one in this game. No question about that. He's been shooting the puck a lot. He's been getting opportunity, power play minutes, second line. And definitely, I think he's going to have that opportunity. There's no question about that. First time, actually. Here we go. Kevin, this is my colleague. Long time here on the Ice Guys. Alex P. Smith. You two have just missed paths here for so many Saturdays, but finally here you are, both on the Saturday show at the same time. Alex, welcome in. This is our goalie of the Ice Guys show, Kevin Beach, who, by the way, told us a minute ago, Alex, I don't know if you heard it, he almost fought Steve Mason many, many years ago.
Oh, really? Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, the rough got in the way, but and it wasn't out of anger. And we were shorthanded 5-on-3, and our guy had crashed their net, and then it was just a melee down there, and just something in my head said, "Hey, they're super outnumbered. I got to go." And didn't make it there, but yeah, Alex, nice to meet you, and be on the same line with you here today.
So did you guys get held back much like Phoenix Copley and John Gibson last night? Kind of in the same kind of straw?
Mine was a little more embarrassing. I just got taken down. And I remember the ref was yelling at me, like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing down here." And that was it. But
I'm just coming to get a closer view of the action. Maybe that's
yeah.
Could have said that. Yeah.
Very nice.
But the whole topic came up obviously because of the Copley and Gibson almost fight last night in the Kings and the Ducks game. Alex, we've just gotten through the first couple games: Florida, Nashville, Colorado, St. Louis. So what do you like in there? Those two?
With Florida, I lean with Florida. I'm hoping Nashville wins today because I want to fade Nashville tomorrow when they head back up here, back-to-back 1 o'clock local starts. They'll be playing here in Minnesota on Sunday. But it's hard to back Bobrovsky and lay a price with them. So there's going to be a pass. Might jump in on that live. As far as this game goes, slight lean to the draw. We saw this 2 teams go into overtime a couple meetings ago this season. 2 of the last 5 going past regulation. So obviously with these division games and the Central, it seems like it's been tight the last couple of weeks with a lot of Central Division matchups going into OT. So I'll probably be sprinkling a little bit with this early start for this game to go past regulation.
All right, good stuff there. Maybe like in this game. And again, draw season is alive and well. Congrats to Alex for his Kevin, what a monster call Alex had last night. Chicago-Ottawa draw to go to overtime, plus 400. What a call that was. Blackhawks and Senators. And my draw got there as well, Stars and Wild. So
yep. I had a little bit of that in pocket. I think I've had 4 draws that I've cashed this week at plus 320 or higher. So.
Oh, come on, Ice X. What do you mean draw season sucks? You mean plus 400 tickets suck? 300 tickets suck? I don't think so, my friend.
I get it. Yeah, I know no one wants to sit around and watch 6 minutes of nothing in the last few TV timeouts, heading out of regulation into OT. But like I said, it's all worth it when you get that plus price hitting your account. So.
Yeah.
I've never been in the draw game, but that was one I was looking at with Chicago and Ottawa. I didn't like either team. I didn't like the price for Ottawa, and I wasn't crazy about Chicago. So I guess that's the time to pull the trigger on that draw.
Right, and that's the thing. There's these two patterns you commonly tend to have, and what I like to play most will be these divisional teams fighting for playoff spots, cross conference matchups where you got two teams that are either let's say Boston, Dallas, where you have two of the best teams in their respective conferences, or something like that. But then you also have the Chicago, Ottawa, where both teams are terrible. Both teams can't really figure things out. And, one team has a lead, they blow it, and it goes to OT. So there's a few different angles you can look at this. It's not just strictly look for teams that are fighting for points. It's sometimes just two bad teams that can't get out of each other's way, or two teams that are similarly fatigued and they're kind of going through the motions. There's a lot of little options, and I try to bring up and talk about as many instances from here until the end of the season and into the postseason, because that's, of course, where we really make a lot of money, hitting those draws, of course, in the overtime of the playoffs. That's where you see teams that might be plus 320, plus 300 because they're getting cash in so many OTs now in regulation. They'll revert back to being plus 360, plus 370 in the first round of the postseason.
Yeah, definitely good times to take advantage of those. I'm just trying to see here in terms of what we've got here in terms of this game. Kyrou, point in 7 of the last 10. Same with Braden Shen. Braden Shen and Kyrou have to do even more offensively now with O'Reilly gone. So they're good targets in terms of player points, I would say, going into this game. Oh, there's the one I was thinking of. Gosh, Big Val Nichushkin, his shots on goal prop over too. I like Rodriguez. I'm totally with Kevin on that. But I like the Big Val Nichushkin over 2.5 shots on goal as well. He's been trending that way for Colorado, going over the numbers. So a couple of shots on goal props for the Avs that I think are really worth a look. Justin Falk from the blue line. I've noticed him for St. Louis lately too, shooting the puck a lot more lately. And his shots on goal prop, I think, worth a look on the Blues side. Justin Falk, the blue liner, defenseman for St. Louis. All right, New York Islanders and Boston Bruins. We've got Boston minus 240, home favorites, 5.5 the total in this game. What a crazy game that was last night. It's bizarre because if you watch that game, throw the score out, pretend you didn't see any of the goals, you were in the washroom or you were sick or something happened that prevented you from seeing any of the goals last night. You were just seeing the action in between all the goals. You thought Pittsburgh would won that game 6-1. That's what you thought last night. But the Islanders won 5-4. Pittsburgh was all over them. They could have scored probably 7 times, but Sorokin was good. They missed the net. They hit a post or two. And Islanders, it seemed like everything that they got in terms of chances went in against Casey DeSmith, and it's a real tough loss for Pittsburgh because they were the better team. I thought they deserved the 2 points, but the Islanders get the 2 points. 5-4 win over the Penguins last night. Islanders and over, both cash for me. But now it's a tough spot back-to-back here going to Boston against the Bruins, who are obviously showing no signs of letting up or going the other way or suffering any sort of setback here. 3 wins in their last 4 games, 2-1 since the All-Star break. They had a little bit of a sluggish game out of the break against Washington last Saturday afternoon on our Super Betcast, but they've bounced back to win 2 straight on the road against Dallas and Nashville. I don't have a strong feel on this game. I'm probably going to stay out of it from a side perspective and from a totals perspective. I mean, when you look at this Bruins team right now, they've been under machines because that defensive play and that goaltending of theirs just continues to be a stalwart every single game. And it's regardless of Swayman or Allmark and net. They've been absolutely terrific in terms of playing great defensive hockey, the kind of hockey you need to win in playoff time. So we'll see how this one goes. If you're going to play the Islanders, I don't love the Islander props as much because you're playing a stingy team, Boston, but Brock Nelson is on this incredible, and I mean incredible, point scoring streak right now for the New York Islanders. What is it, 12 straight games now for him with at least a point? It's been pretty impressive what he's been able to do. Yeah, I'm just looking at now 12 straight games with a point here for Brock Nelson. If you're going to play an SGP in this game, you can throw a Brock Nelson point into the mix. Taylor Hall, last 3 games with a point as well. So keep that in mind. He's starting to heat up a little bit for the Boston Bruins as well. Keep that in mind. Let me see what else we've got here. Bo Horvat shots on goal cashed for me last night. Consider that potential for tonight. Noah Dobson over shots on goal has been hitting a lot lately. There's another one that I think might be worth a look, especially from Boston. Boston sometimes will give up shots from the point. They basically clog things up. They front the front of the net. They collapse in front of the net, so they'll open up the points to shoot. And I think that means for today in this matchup, Noah Dobson to go over 2.5 shots on goal for the Islanders. I think that might be a good look here as well. Alex, what do you think here? Islanders taking on the Bruins.
This is one I'm probably going to be waiting for a live over with. If you look at the history with these two teams, it's always been 5s and 5.5s with the totals. And of course, that's related to the Islanders and their mostly defensive style over the years. But Boston, obviously, can kind of clamp down and tend to clamp down more when they're playing conference opponents, divisional opponents. And they do say playing against opponents in the West. But we've seen, these games kind of be a little bit higher scoring between the two. I could definitely see this, these are two of the worst first period teams going over. So I think we can wait long enough that this might be able to drop to 4.5 and plus money to play live. And that'll be my strike point. So we get anything 4.5 at a plus price, so even money or better, I'll be jumping on a live over.
All right, live over. Draw might be live here. I mean, Boston's winning, but Boston's not winning comfortably right now. Nashville was the exception, but Nashville's pretty bad right now. The Islanders, this could be a draw. This could be one of those games. Maybe you take a shot, maybe look at beyond overtime here in this game. And keep in mind with the Bruins, they've had a couple overtime games in their last 7 games. The Washington game was close. The Carolina game that they lost 4-1 almost went to overtime. The Tampa game they lost 3-2 almost went to overtime. So the draw is not a bad consideration here for this one. Kevin, what do you think? Islanders Bruins.
Yeah, I was watching that Islanders Pens game last night, and I was on the Penguins, and they were controlling the game so much that I actually turned it off and flipped and started watching another game. And then checked the score later.
They're all over them. And it was embarrassing how bad the Islanders were. They weren't skating. They were losing every puck battle. They looked like they weren't even skating out there. They were getting hemmed in the defensive zone over and over again. They somehow won that game. It's craziness.
Yeah, so huge comeback for them last night. But I think just the energy spent last night in that game with it fighting for that playoff spot with Pittsburgh, how big of it, that's a 4-point game. I think with Boston sitting there waiting for them today, I like Boston to take care of business. So I'm just going puck line, Boston. I did look because I always like looking at Taylor Hall, see what he's doing. Did see he's heated up the last few games, but DeBrusk is back in the lineup. He's supposed to be back in the lineup today.
Yes.
So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with him. But I didn't like anything today on him. Usually I like to kind of play. I've been big on the under shots or the no point for him this year in some situations that I've been hitting, but not enough today. I was tempted to play it today because he has been hot, so you get a better number with DeBrusk coming back, and he's going to get less usage. But I'm going to sit on it for a couple games and see what happens. So I'm just going Boston puck line here.
Yeah, quickly, I want to circle back on one thing I said about the St. Louis game. Torrey Krug doesn't look like he's going to play today. So it's another reason why I think Justin Falk is a very good prop in that game for the shots on goal. Someone's going to have to take those minutes and play the more power play for the Blues. And I think Justin Falk will do that. So I think it makes Justin Falk over shots better. This game, Jake DeBrusk, he's going to play on the top line, it looks like, in his return to the lineup for the Bruins. They've got him listed with Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand on the top line. So it's just he's going to get the opportunity. We'll see if he can make the most of it. I like Pavel Zacha again. I've been riding the Pavel Zacha goal scorer and point props lately, and they've been going well. He's played very well on that Czechia line for the most part with Krejci and Pasternak. They've had great chemistry, those three. So Pavel Zacha, I think props are going to be going into my portfolio once again here this afternoon. All right, this is the last of the afternoon games, New Jersey and Pittsburgh. We've got the Devils minus 125, road favorites, 6.5 the total. Devils just waiting in Pittsburgh for this game because they obviously played Thursday, a loss to St. Louis. Pittsburgh, that frustrating loss where they completely dominate the Islanders but don't get the victory 5-4 last night. Certainly a situational advantage for the Devils, lean Devils, but I'm going to stay off it. I'm starting to not love what I'm seeing from the Devils out with Jack Hughes out. It's bothering me the way they've not been able to, finish chances lately. There's elements of their game that have struggled. Although I do want to point out, it's looking like Jack is going to return today. Yes, he's in. He's back. Jack Hughes for the New Jersey Devils. Keep in mind, I'm doing a 2-hour college hoops show before this, so I don't always get to catch up on the injury notes. But Jack Hughes is back here for the New Jersey Devils in this game after missing the last 4. It certainly makes me much more interested in New Jersey now with him back because we talked about this all along with him being out. How much, Kevin, I'll ask you, just top of your head, take a guess because I don't know the exact number, but percentage of goals that Jack Hughes has played a role in for New Jersey, whether it's scoring the goal or setting it up. What would you put it at?
Ooh, it's got to be over 50%.
It's got to be. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's got to be. That's why this is such a big deal when he was out and why it's such a big deal that he's back today. He just is in on so much of the offense for the New Jersey Devils. I still like Dougie Hamilton over shots in this game. I've been rolling with that over 3.5 for several games in a row now. But a lot of that, too, is Hughes being out. He's driving the offense more from the blue line with Hughes out, and he's shooting the puck more. Does he maybe not do that as much with Hughes back? Maybe. So maybe tread with caution today on this, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm still going back to the well. Dougie Hamilton over shots on goal. What do you think here? Kevin, we'll start with you on this one. New Jersey, Pittsburgh.
I'm in the same spot. As far as picking a winner here, it's tough. The Penguins just had a tough loss last night. Can they bounce back? But it's also there's so much energy kind of put in the last game. You got Jack Hughes coming back. Hard to say he's at 100%, so I kind of don't want to go out and hit any of his props right away. So I had that same thing. Dougie Hamilton over 3.5 shots circled. 7 of the last 10 he's hit it, and it's playing close to even money. The one I'm tempted by is a Malkin no point. I was going to plus 163 on that. He's only had points in 4 of his last 10. But when he does score points, he kind of pops off in a game. So it seems like he's either doing nothing or he's popping off. That's one I was very tempted. I'm not going to play. I'm just going to play the Dougie Hamilton. But that Malkin one, I was looking at it for a while. So.
You ended up passing on the Malkin?
I did. Yeah, I'm passing. We'll see. Maybe I feel crazy right before game time and I jump on it, but. He's gone 3 games with no point here. It was close to being something. One of those ones where like a Carlson no point. It is back to back for him too. So I could feel he's not going to have the same kind of energy levels as normal. It was I just needed a little more on the price, but I was close to playing that one. That would have been a fun one to play, but just going Dougie Hamilton over. Keep it calm on this one here.
You know what's a good one? Because I'm looking at the numbers. Sidney Crosby's like playing possessed right now. He's trying to drag his team into the playoffs. The way he's played the last couple games has been outstanding. San Jose game, he was great last night, even though they lost. He's doing everything in his power. Obviously, if you're going to bet a point prop on him, you've got to put it in a parlay, an SGP. It's minus 250. But his assists prop, okay? His assists prop for this game is minus 110. It's even money for him to get an assist. Sidney Crosby has gotten an assist. I'm just bringing it up right now on the screen here. I had it. Where the hell was it? There it is. 8 of the last 10 games, he's had an assist for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he had a beauty of a beauty assist last night on one of the goals for Pittsburgh as well. In that nice little backhand pass right to the middle, and a great finish it was by Raquel, I believe. Again, 8 of the last 10, he's picked up an assist. It's even money. It's minus 110. It's a good bet. It's a bet I'm making. What do you think here, Alex? Devils, Penguins?
Yeah, I'm slightly lean with the Devils. I grabbed minus $1.20. I could just kind of see this, like I said, they've kind of been waiting around for Pittsburgh. I just feel like this could be one of those spots where they kind of maybe jump out early and often. It might actually be one of those the games where I might take a shot like you normally do with splitting it between the first period and full game. But I think I might just stick with the full game. I can see this being kind of a bit of back and forth early, and I think the Devils find a way to kind of pull out of this one late. With Pittsburgh returning back home in the kind of earlier start. So I like Devils minus $1.20. $1.25 is my cutoff for that. Maybe even sprinkle few bucks on the draw. I could kind of see this one maybe going to the OT. So Devils, but it could be close enough where a draw might be worth putting a little bit in the pocket.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that being the case. No question about that. Close game. I do think it'll be pretty competitive. No question about that. So definitely an interesting matchup here, but looking forward to seeing how it plays out overall in this one. All right, next up, we've got Columbus taking on Dallas. This is the first of the evening games. This is a very early evening game, though, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Dallas minus 300 home favorites, 6 the total. In this game, back-to-back for the Stars, after a shootout loss to the Minnesota Wild last night. I would assume it's going to be Mr. Wedgwood tonight in net for the Stars on the back-to-back after it was Ottinger last night. Jonas Korpisalo confirmed in net for the Jackets. Not at all a surprise. And if you actually look at Korpisalo, he's had a nice few weeks. He's played really well, really well. He was outstanding against Winnipeg a couple of nights ago. It was a great performance in net from him. And actually, he's been good a lot lately. And I remember the Calgary game where they played the Flames and he faced like 40 shots and he kept them in it. So he's had a nice little run lately here for the Jackets in net. Dallas slumping a little bit. I don't want to say, I don't know if I've got the guts to take Columbus here, but I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I lean Columbus in the draw or something along those lines in this game. I mean, I'm not trusting Dallas right now with back-to-back. They've lost 3 in a row. It's a back-to-back situation for them. Let me see what Dallas's record is here. Back-to-backs this year, 2-3. 2-3 they are on a back-to-back this year, the Dallas Stars. It's a flight risk, in my opinion, laying this kind of a price with the Stars, even though this is a team that's still trying to, win in a division. But I'm telling you, the Jackets, they've been competitive lately. They've gotten Korpisalo playing solid in net. Look, obviously, they're still a very depleted team. I'm not going to – who's kidding who? I mean, you're talking about a Jackets team that still has, Gaudreau's out today, which is big. Tessier's out. Jake Bean, Shinnikov, Danforth, Meyer, Nyquist, Voracek, Werenski. Gavrikov is being sat because he's going to get traded and dealt in mere days before the deadline, and he's their best shutdown defenseman. They are a very shorthanded group, but I'd still lean Columbus and or draw in this game. There'll be small, tiny bets, if anything, but I'm not trusting Dallas here. Back-to-back minus 300. They've lost 3 in a row. Nothing's coming easily for them. So there's definitely some looks. I think Lion A overshots. Someone's got to shoot the puck more now. Gaudreau out. Now, hopefully someone can give him the puck, but Lion A, I think, might be worth a look in the shot department for Columbus in this game. Maybe Marchenko as well. On the Dallas side, in terms of, shots on goal, Sagan was quiet last night, but he had been starting to trend over the total. Heiskanen's shooting the puck a lot from the blue line, the defenseman for the Dallas Stars. So his shots on goal, Miro Heiskanen, I think probably is a good bet in this game. Alex, what do you think here? Columbus, Dallas.
Yeah, I like this draw here too at plus 395 is what I was able to grab it at Bet.
Wow,
still available.
Good price.
Yeah, and that's a great price for a Stars team. Back-to-back OT games. 6 of the last 8 have gone past regulation. We've seen, like I said, Columbus be a feisty team, win 2 of the last 3. They had an OT game of their own. So I definitely think this could be one of those kind of close battles. And definitely wouldn't be looking at laying anything with Dallas. I said if I had to play a side, it would be CBJ or nothing. But I'm just going to go with that draw, that big plus price.
Yeah, I think that's even better than Columbus is the draw, because the draw is an even better price than the Columbus. Columbus is plus 250. You can get the draw almost plus 400. And you're right, Dallas has been nothing but tight games, and a lot have gone beyond regulation, no doubt. What are you thinking here in this one, Beachy, with Columbus and Dallas?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as you guys. I just don't trust the way Dallas is playing right now. They're just not playing the greatest hockey. Columbus has been feisty, and this is kind of a move just based on the last few weeks. Every time I make a play against Columbus, throw them in a parlay or something, they find a way to upset teams. So I'm looking at the Columbus puck line, so give me the extra goal and a half there. And I'm taking that. So puck line Columbus. So kind of same page as you guys. As you guys are looking at the draw. I do like that play as well. And then my prop is Boone Jenner on the over 2.5 shots. 8 of the last 10, he's hit that. And as you said, they got even more bodies that'll line up, so someone's got to shoot the puck. He's been pretty consistent as far as just absolutely peppering the net lately, and that I've seen that line even up at 3.5 sometimes, but 2.5 I'm going to jump on that for sure. He's been hitting that very consistently so far.
That's a good find. I should have. Yeah, he's going to be on the top line still because Johnny Gaudreau's out, obviously for Columbus today. He's still on the top line though. Boone Jenner with Marchenko and Laine. It's a question of who's going to be. Will he be shooting or will he be deferring to his line mates Laine and Marchenko? But the numbers back it up. What Kevin's saying here about 8 of the last 10 for Boone Jenner, the captain of the Jackets, have gone over his shots on goal number. So
he's been playing a ton too. So pretty regularly over 20, 21 minutes a night. And getting that first power play uses as well. So he's a lot of power play time and a lot of time on the ice in general.
Yeah, definitely. Should be interesting to see how this one plays out. All right, Montreal and Toronto. Toronto minus 425 here as home favorite, 6.5 the total in this one. Obviously, they made headlines last night with a late Friday night blockbuster deal, bringing in Ryan O'Reilly and Noel Acciari and the deal with St. Louis. Obviously, though, neither one of those guys is going to be I don't think they're going to be in the lineup tonight. I don't think they'd be here this quickly, but you never know. Let me just see if I can get – no, he is playing. Wow. I guess he wanted to get here quickly. Ryan O'Reilly. Wow. He is going to be in the lineup, says Mike Zeisberger, reporting that. So there you go. Ryan O'Reilly will make his Leaf debut here tonight in this game against the Montreal Canadiens. By the way, Ilya Samsonov dealing with a little bit of I think it's an illness situation with him. And obviously, we're not seeing Matt Murray anytime soon. He's going to be out for still several weeks. It's an illness for Samsonov. So it's Joe Wall in net for the Leafs tonight in this game. And they didn't play well for him the last time he was in net. And against it was just a recent game that they played it. Yeah, and they didn't play that great. It was the Columbus game last Saturday, second of the back-to-back against the Jackets. And they had an early 2-0 lead. They couldn't hold it, and it was not the greatest performance. Sheldon Keefe wasn't very happy with that performance. But so I get it. The Leafs they've got their new toys in the lineup. They've got Ryan O'Reilly. And by the way, the one thing I have to, and I said this on Twitter, one thing you have to give the Leafs credit for with this deal is that they've got one of, if not the best, top 3 center situations in the league with Matthews, Tavares, and O'Reilly down the middle. That's unbelievable. That is tough to match up with in terms of matching that kind of depth down the middle at the most important position in the forward group, which is the center position. 1, 2, 3 with Matthews, Tavares, and O'Reilly is pretty damn impressive for the Leafs moving forward. But we know at Montreal how they play against Toronto. They play tough. They play spirited. They want to beat this Leafs team every time they play them. So, boy, that trade hit at the wrong time because I was definitely going to be on Montreal stronger tonight. I still am. A little bit of a bite on Montreal here. First period money line and full game money line split in this game for me with the Canadiens. Because, look, I mean, as much as they're excited that O'Reilly's going to be there tonight for his Leaf debut, could it throw off chemistry a little bit? Could it take, O'Reilly time to get comfortable? We'll see. All I know is the Leafs have a tough time with Montreal every single time they play this team. And to me, in this situation against this particular opponent, they're a little bit overpriced. They're a little bit overvalued. Montreal's won 4 of the last 5 head-to-head against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Toronto's wins, even though they've been in Toronto, were barely by the skin of their teeth, 2-1 and 3-2. So if you want to be safer, you could go plus 1.5 goals with the Montreal Canadiens in this game. I think I might even look at that as well for a little security. But certainly I think this is a situation where Montreal, considering how they play this Toronto team tough, they're worth a look. What do you think here, Alex? Habs, Leafs?
Yeah, this is one I kind of lean with the draw too as well. But like I said, we talked about with Toronto, laying these gigantic favorite prices. Of course, They did it against the Hawks, and they took care of business, but it was not easy in that first period. After the 9-second goal to make it a 1-0 lead, with a minute and 10 seconds left or later, they come back and tie the game up and won the Hawks. So Toronto, like I said, Montreal obviously is a big rivalry game, big Saturday night game. I can definitely see where the Habs might hang around early. So maybe a lean with Habs first period and then try to look for hopefully they take a lead and grab Toronto, at a cheaper price coming back live. So that might be the way I approach this. But right now, there's nothing on the board for me.
Jake Allen's played Toronto pretty well the times he's been in net against them, and he's played great in his last 2 starts. He shut out Chicago. He was excellent when they beat Edmonton in that early Super Bowl Sunday afternoon game last weekend. So Jake Allen's had 2 really good starts in a row in net for Montreal. What does hurt, and it does bother me that Kirby Dach is going to miss again tonight for the Montreal Canadiens. He's been playing really well for them. It does bother me. It is what it is. Again, this is a situation I was really liking Montreal a lot on this card pre Ryan O'Reilly trade. I don't like it nearly as much now, but I'm sticking with it because it's just hook or crook. Montreal just gives Toronto fits, and I think they're right in this game and have a chance at least to win it. What do you think here, Beachy, with this one? Original 6, forever rivals, Canadiens Leafs.
I agree with the storyline. It's the Leafs always just struggle with the Canadiens. However, I'm going to go for the Leafs over 3.5 goals. Again, these games can get crazy, like high scoring. The Habs just find a way to kind of score goals and stay in these games. So that's why it scared me off enough to just play the Leafs. The Leafs win, but I do like them to find the back of the net here at least 4 times. But the two props I'm playing are actually Montreal players. So again, it's that kind of the past 10 games kind of dictates to play this anyways, but then they always kind of get a boost playing the Leafs. So one is Josh Anderson. 7 of the last 10, he's been at least 2 or more shots. His prop line is only 1.5, and he's a guy who always seems to kind of step up against the Leafs.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And kind of since that Caulfield injury, he's a guy that's playing a lot more, getting used a lot more. Another guy on that as well as Mike Hoffman. 8 of the last 10, he's been over that 1.5 line for shots. Although he's slowed down a little bit the last couple of games, but with the boost of playing the Leafs, I'm going to kind of give him another shot, the benefit of the doubt here. He still hit 2 or more shots in 8 of the last 10. But again, these are 2 guys who I was fading when Caulfield was still in the lineup, and now that he's out of the lineup, these are guys that kind of like what you mentioned with Columbus. You need someone to fire the puck, so these are the guys that are getting it done right now.
There we go. Absolutely. So Mike Hoffman, Josh Anderson, and I like Nick Suzuki in the shots on goal market as well for Montreal in this. I like Nylander over 3.5 shots for Toronto. He's been kind of going over that number of late a lot more. And by the way, Josh Anderson, I'm not only the shots on goal that you mentioned are worth a look. I'm seeing plus 320 to score a goal and plus 170 just to get a point for Josh Anderson. And all he does is produce against Toronto. That is worth keeping in mind. He every single game, he seems to make some sort of offensive impact when this team plays the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I think his props are even more appealing as a result tonight against the Leafs. Like I said, he has been absolutely terrific in terms of finding the back of the net and making an impact against the Leafs. All right, next up, we've got the outdoor game. Carter Finley Stadium, Raleigh, North Carolina, national television on ABC in prime time. So this is a big spectacle here for the league. ABC, a Saturday night game in prime time. Washington Capitals, Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina minus 200, home favorites. Total right now, 5.5 across the board in this game. The Washington Capitals look like they have lost their captain. When you're on a ship and the captain's not there to steer the ship, everybody sinks. I think that's what we're seeing with Washington right now. They look just out of sorts without Ovi. And Alex Ovechkin obviously away from the team, dealing with the recent passing of his father. And Washington has not stepped up and delivered the goods and delivered the results without Alex Ovechkin. And they're still, without Tom Wilson, Hagelin, Nick Dowd, John Carlson, Marcus Johansson looks like he might not play tonight as well. We'll have to wait and see on that. Carolina continues to roll along, potential flat spot for them against Montreal. And it was looking dicey after the first two periods. It was 2-2, but then they turned it on in the third. 4 goals, hat trick for Seth Jarvis in that game for the Carolina Hurricanes. This one is, I'm treading lightly with the props here. It's an outdoor game. You're never quite sure. Puck bounces weird. We'll have to see what the ice conditions are. The NHL ice makers, I'll tell you what, they can work wonders. And it's amazing sometimes what they can come up with. But, this is not exactly a traditional cold weather environment here, Raleigh. So we'll see how they keep the ice in decent condition or not. I could only look at the Canes here. They're playing well. I know they beat Washington earlier this week, and then Washington's looking for redemption, but I don't know if there will be redemption for the Capitals. They just look like a team that's struggling to find themselves, especially now with the number 8 not on the team and away from the team and not in the lineup. So I haven't bet anything yet, but I lean Carolina in regulation in this one. As far as the props go, I'll give you a few from a shots on goal standpoint. Svechnikov, Teravainen, Necas to get a point and a goal as well. Marty Necas has been, just the absolute backbone and a pillar for me with prop bets this year. He's been so excellent for the Hurricanes. I'd probably go in multiple directions with that. In props involving him. Alex, what do you think here? The Stadium Series outdoor matchup, Washington, Carolina.
Yeah, we got another one of these outdoor games, and I'm sure, obviously, ABC, not, obviously everybody upset with the passing of Ovechkin's father, but ABC's got to really be taking it tough because this was pretty much the flagship reason to have the Caps in this game is to have, of course, Ovechkin, your number 2 all-time, leading scorer.
Pacing Gretzky,
in the league, right? Pacing Gretzky.
Play that up a million times, yeah.
Right, so now that whole video stock footage is pretty much just going to be sitting there on the shelf. But it should be an interesting game. These are two teams that obviously have a history with one another. Always played each other tough, obviously being division rivals for seemingly the entire time these two teams have faced one another. But since Carolina moved from Hartford, these two teams have always been tough. But the trend in these games, and somebody mentioned it, we tend to see these outdoor games kind of flip-flop quite a bit, where if you get one Winter Classic that kind of rolls over, then you tend to see a Stadium Series game that goes under and vice versa. I don't know what the total of this could be. I'm not looking at the total. I like Carolina first period puck line, laying the half a goal plus $1.30. I think they can ride that home crowd, get out to a lead. But I also like the draw here at plus 260. We've seen 2 of the last 4 meetings go past regulation, and we've definitely seen some tighter overtime games in recent years. So I definitely could see this one going past 60. So give me the draw and give me Carolina first period puck line.
All right, the draw for the game at a nice plus price, and also Carolina first period puck line. So a nice approach. Carolina gets the lead early, but maybe Washington battles back and gets this thing into overtime. So I do lean over now that I look more at the temperatures aren't going to be that bad. The ice isn't going to be that bad. It's 5, and Carolina, believe it or not, trending over lately. If you look at their games, then they've been going over quite a bit. So 5, and you're only talking 5.5. So I could make a case for an over 5.5 here in this game. I could definitely where the number is right now in this one. Kevin, what do you think here? Capitals, Hurricanes, outdoors.
Yeah, you kind of said it. The Caps are not playing the best hockey here. Hasn't helped having Ovechkin out of the lineup here. And the Hurricanes are just chugging along. So even though that's minus 200 on the money line for the Hurricanes, I'm going to play that. I also like Teravainen anytime point. The price I have is minus 122, so I'm going to take that the way he's kind of heating up here the last few weeks. And then a guy who always you have to look at depending on the week is Dylan Strome. Today I'm going over 1.5 shots. It's almost even money. He peppered 8 on net yesterday or 2 days ago. With Ovechkin out of lineup, he's someone's got to fire the puck, right? And seems the power play configuration here the last couple of games he's had quite a few shots. And he's a guy where it just depends on the week where they're using him. Seems he can get shuffled around. He can be the top guy, on the first line and power play unit, or he can get thrown down the lineup pretty quick. So he's a guy I'm going to jump on the over 1.5 today, and with almost even money and the way he's fired the puck the last couple of games, I'm going to jump on that.
That's a great find. Finding the change, right? It's so key to winning and finding value, and especially in props. Someone all of a sudden, just flip of a switch, snap of your fingers, all of a sudden they're shooting the puck more, and you're getting a 1.5 with that. So that's a great find there. Over, I'm going to bet that. That makes a ton of sense. It's a great number, over 1.5. So I like that philosophy. There's no question about that. All right, that's the first half of the card. There's a slew of late games that are coming up in the late night hours. We've got 6, I believe, and they're all like 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific or later. So there's going to be a ton of late night hockey coming up tonight on this card, and we'll break down those late games coming up right after we hear from our great sponsors, Gramco.
All right. Whether you or your team's game is on the field, screen, racetrack, or the ice, Gramco is for the game. Grown by farmers who spent years developing premium hemp genetics, Gramco provides customers with consistent quality Delta 8 products ready for any occasion. Gramco currently offers numerous Delta 8 products such as vape cartridges, disposable vapes, pre-rolls, gummies, wake and bake coffee, and more. Gramco offers an enjoyable legal high delivered discreetly and directly to you, and is also available at many American retailers as well. Get the best Delta 8 cannabis products on the market shipped quickly and discreetly from Gramco. If you visit www.thegramco.com, use promo code ICEGUYS, you get 25% off of any order, and all orders on the site that are $50 and higher are shipped free with standard shipping. So live elevated with Gramco and check out their wonderful Delta 8 products today.
There we go. We are back here on the Ice Guys. And like I said, that's a couple of things too about the props. I just wanted to mention with Tara Vine, and I didn't get this in earlier, but yeah, he's gone over his shots on goal prop in 4 straight. Svechnikov, I think, like I said, over 2.5 is a good look. So there's some good player prop options for sure, especially on the Carolina side in that game against Washington. All right, the remaining games are all late night games tonight, starting with Philadelphia, Vancouver. Canucks -120, home favorite, 6.5 the total in this game. For the sake of, moving the show along, you know what we've been doing with Vancouver games. I'm not even going to say anything more. We're on over 6.5. Alex, what do you think here? Flyers, Canucks.
First period over 2 at even money for a Vancouver team that's cashed 8 straight first period overs and 15 of the last 17. So keep it simple. First period over, Flyers, Canucks.
I want no part of the side. I don't want Vancouver, and I'm not jumping on Philly after they look like complete ass against the Seattle Kraken the other night. And so I could see them losing tonight if Vancouver's working hard and playing hard. They're just not getting results right now, and because they still suck defensively and they're not getting enough saves. And that's the issue that continues to plague them. What do you think here, Kevin? Flyers, Canucks?
Yeah, I just have one prop I'm playing is Pettersson under 3.5 shots. 8 of his last 10, he's been under that. The price you pay is -143, but I think overall it's worth it. It's a tough number to hit every night, and hasn't been doing it lately. So that's what I'm playing.
I love that Kevin looks at under props and no props. Not many people do, but he always has some unders on his card. Under shots, not to get a point, not to get a goal. That's always good to see that every now and then. It's a reminder that, hey, you can bet some unders, even though I often refuse to do that. But nevertheless, let me just see here a couple of. Am I missing anything in terms of props here in this game? I'm just checking here. Anything we need to be aware of here? Philly, Vancouver. Yeah, actually, JT Miller's gone over 2.5 shots on goal in 4 straight. I think that might be something to consider. And look, he looks like he's taken on an added leadership role too since Tocchet got here. Like, I'm going to try to do more to help this hockey team. So over 2.5 shots with JT Miller for Vancouver might be a good look here in this game.
Yeah, that's one I was taking a close look at as well. I noticed that he's had a little bump here the last few games. It looks like he's doing a little more. So that was definitely something to consider for sure.
Yeah, and he's gotten a point in 8 of the last 10 for the Vancouver Canucks. And Connor Garland, I think to score a goal, something along those lines, or get a point tonight is worth a look. Remember, Rick Tocchet had Connor Garland in Arizona. Garland's only +120 to get a point tonight, +300, +330 to get a goal. I mean, I think both of those are worth a look right there. Connor Garland as well for the Vancouver Canucks in this one as far as props go. All right, next up, New York Rangers, Calgary Flames. Calgary -140, home favorites, 6.5 being the total in this game. I do want to mention, by the way, the goalies there. We don't have confirmations in that Flyers-Canucks game as of yet. Colin Delia and Carter Hart, though, are projected to be the starting goalies as of right now, but no confirmations. This game, give me the Rangers. I'm done with this Calgary team at the moment. I'm done waiting for them to be consistent. I'm done waiting for them to get their shit together. The vultures are circling. The rumblings of this team crumbling at the moment are circling. And the last time we thought Calgary's in a great spot here, catching a team off a huge win against the Edmonton Oilers, was Detroit earlier this week, and Detroit beat Calgary, beat them down 5-2. Same thing. They got another opponent strolling into the Saddle Dome, second of back-to-back, off a win against Edmonton, just like Detroit was. And here's Calgary again, a chance they're in the better spot, but the better spot didn't matter against Detroit. So, here in this one, I mean, for me, it's Rangers plus 120. You have to take this price with the way they're playing right now. The back-to-back doesn't concern me. Jarl Halak being in net doesn't concern me. He's actually played pretty solid lately for the Rangers. That being said, I do think Calgary scores a few tonight, and I certainly think the Rangers can score tonight against what we assume will be Jacob Markstrom back in net. Yeah, it is Mark. I knew the minute Daryl Sutter said that ridiculous comment the other day that he certainly didn't give us a chance to win now, did he, about Vladar? There's no way he's starting Vladar again Saturday night. He'd go back to the reeling Jacob Markstrom. So definitely, I think when you look at this spot, it is definitely a flame spot, but it's been a flame spot against Detroit. It was a flame spot many other times where they shit the bed and couldn't find a way to get the job done. So Rangers at this price, they're too good. Their offense is rolling right now. Plus 120. If it loses, so be it. But we're betting a red-hot team at a great price against a team that spit the bit lately. So New York Rangers plus 120 and over. I like over too as well, over 6.5. I think we will see goals. How do you not bet overs with the Rangers? They've gone over the total every game since the All-Star break. Alex, what do you think here? Rangers, Flames. Yeah, 8-0 for Halak in his last 8 starts. Good call there, Grinch. Alex, what do you think?
So I did sprinkle a little bit on Rangers because this had gone down. Saw this price adjust to plus 120. So I grabbed a little bit of that, but I like the draw a tad bit more here at plus 360. Obviously, we saw Rangers come back in that dramatic win in the shootout against Edmonton last night. And like you said, with Calgary, we knew it was going to be Markstrom. Did that based on Sutter's comments with Vladar. And I'll be interested to see, if the theory that we talked about is proven true. If Markstrom comes out here and has one of his bad games, gives up a goal or two early, or they battle back and forth. And let's say the Rangers win this game 6-4, and it's because of some soft, 5 soft goals that go by Markstrom. Is he going to rip him, or is he going to, like I said, kind of keep the kid gloves on, and he's trying to, make sure that he doesn't just completely ruin his psyche? So I'm really curious to see how Markstrom plays and how Sutter's response at the end of the game. So this is what I'll be staying up a little late for, watching the presser, because I want to see how Sutter responds if Markstrom has a bad game in this one. So I like Rangers, love the draw.
Like the Rangers, but like the draw at a great price even more. And again, these games a lot more now going to overtime. So it's worth a shot, I think, at this time of year with the regular season winding down to look at some draw wagers if it makes sense. Beachy, what do you think here, Rangers Flames?
Yeah, I had a tough time picking a winner in this. Love the way the Rangers are playing. They're coming in a back-to-back. Flames have not been playing well, but do you get any kind of bounce back factor out of them? However, as you mentioned, Ian, I do like the Flames to score some goals. I could see them getting a good start, but then the Rangers kind of clawing their way back into this game. I like the over as well. I pulled it to 6, over 6, and my option included overtime as well, so that I could see it being a 3-3 game easily, kind of going into that overtime. I do have to pay minus 150 on that, but I do in general like to see some goals coming in this game. The 2 props I have is Tyler Toffoli over 2.5. He seems to be pretty steady. Pretty steady usage. 9 of his last 10, he's hit that number. I took a glance at Huberdeau just to see if there'd be any kind of boost from him with kind of happened with Walsh's comments in the tweet he made, but he just does not.
Bad. That's not bad. You're right. That was his agent saying, poking the flames there for after the loss the other night. Negativity, too much negativity, and the players not enjoying the environment. So maybe that gets Huberdeau going. It's not a bad angle to consider.
But I just couldn't do it with him. He just did not. looked at his shots, just does not shoot the puck at all. And then, so I looked at it. It wasn't valuable enough to me. So I got that to Foley over 2.5. And then Michael Backlund has been playing some pretty good hockey too.
Yep.
I got him on the over 2.5 as well.
I like that. I like Kadri in the game too. Kadri's trending over lately. Yep.
Yep. Nice. So those are my two props, and then I like to see some goals, so I got over 6.
I totally agree with all those Flame shot props. I was looking at all three, Kadri and the two you mentioned, Toffoli and
Backlund.
Yeah, Backlund. Yeah, definitely. Good options there. I think all three of them with the shots.
I was putting it together on BetMGM. You can go Rangers over 5.5, and it's the irony because we always stress about going with the regulation draw, but you can actually add in the yes prop to your parlay, which obviously will change the price a little bit if you were able to like three-way draw in the same game parlay. But nevertheless, you can put overtime, yes, Rangers win and over 5.5, 11-1 at BetMGM for that same game parlay. So I might take a small shot with that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely good prop looks there in this game. And the Rangers, you could go so many different ways. Oh, so many different ways. But Fox assist, I cashed with that last night against Edmonton. That's good. Kreider's on a point streak, but you got to just put it in an SGP because it's obviously expensive to bet single. And of course, there's a bunch of others too. Let me just bring up the list here. Yeah, Dubé to get a point. Any Dubé props, goal point, I like that as well. Dubé's been excellent. Dubé's been carrying them lately offensively. He's done everything in his power to get Calgary going. So I like props involving him. Let me see. I think there's a few more on the Rangers side too that I was considering here. Let me just bring up the numbers quickly here. All right, here we go. Rangers. There we go. Hedl point. 7 of the last 10. Zibanejad's been getting points of late. So, you could do a nice little Zibanejad because these guys are expensive to get us to bet on their own to get a point. So Zibanejad, Kreider, Panarin, put them all in like a nice little same game parlay, and all of a sudden you'll get a nice price out of that. So definitely look in that direction, possibly in the game tonight with Rangers Flames. All right, Arizona Coyotes, Los Angeles Kings. Kings minus 240. Home favorite, 6.5 the total in this one. Back-to-back for the Kings off the win against Anaheim last night over the Ducks. Now back home taking on Arizona. Rest advantage, big rest advantage for Arizona off since Wednesday when they shocked Tampa Bay in a shootout thanks to Connor Ingram, who was absolutely outstanding in that game despite the fact the Coyotes got outplayed. It could be a little tricky spot here for LA. And keep in mind, Arizona beat LA 2-1 in a shootout last time they played. And then before that here in LA, it was 5-3 for the Kings. I don't know if I want to step in front of LA, but it's definitely a tricky spot. This is one of those, can't lay 240 with LA in this spot. If you've got the gumption to think of an Arizona and or draw look, you could. That did go to a shootout the last time they played. I think this is a tricky spot though for LA. If there's ever going to be a game where LA is kind of, going through the motions, this is it. Off wins against Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Anaheim last night. That was a rough game, physically, almost a goalie fight. And now you're playing a back-to-back. They have Minnesota and a road trip after this on deck. I could see Arizona hanging around. And look, Arizona's still playing hard, even though Chikrin's going to be moved any day now. There's still obviously Gostisbehere is out on the blue line, but Bukestad, Schmaltz, Keller's been amazing if you're going to go props on Arizona. And how do you not bet Kempe to score a goal again? I'll be on Kempe to score again tonight. He's just every game now finding the back of the net. What do you think here in this one, Alex? Arizona, LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a first period over in game. I'm seeing $1.50, $1.55. I want this to drop down to at least $1.20. I think we can get enough dead time in the first few minutes to be able to grab that. And I think the Kings second night of a back-to-back. And it'll be interesting to see what they're doing. I haven't seen the goalie confirmation yet. Of course, Phoenix Copley played the first half of that game last night. Of course, ends up getting the match penalty. Jonathan Quick comes in, looks sharp. It did give up a couple of tough goals, but like I said, I don't think those were his fault. So, the Kings got everything rolling right now. I definitely think we're going to see some goals here. Like I said, enough to where we can wait and grab some better prices in game. So maybe even look at a full over in game too. If we get that 5.5 drop down and maybe lay a little less too.
Yeah, I would assume Jonathan Quick. I definitely would. Vimelka has been confirmed already for the Coyotes. If it is Quick, and I'd assume that on a back-to-back, this is the spot you got to play him. You need to rest Copley. You can't run him into the ground. I would look at an Arizona team total over 2.5 if it's Quick. I mean, they just got to get 3 goals, and Quick's given up 3 goals or more a lot this season, especially of late. So the Arizona team total is interesting, and certainly would be more interested in the full game over as well if it's John Quick for the Kings, as we kind of expect it will. What do you think here, Kevin? Coyotes King.
Yeah, the Coyotes somehow have been playing some good hockey lately, even with guys being pulled out of the lineup for trade or guys being injured. They've definitely been playing hard. So I'm staying away from a wins or loss total on either side here. Coyotes have been giving up a lot of shots lately, though. So I'm looking at Kempa over 3.5. That actually is paying plus money, and 5 of his last 10 he has hit it. And then with it being how many shots the Coyotes give up, I like him to hit that. The last 3 games he has hit it as well, so he's been hot and really firing the puck. And with how much he's scoring lately, I think that's going to increase his odds to want to keep firing that puck. So he definitely feels good right now. And then I like to jump on that Kempa goal as well. So I'm 2 prop bets on Kempa, and that's it for me. Stay away from the wins or losses on either team on this one.
All right, good stuff indeed. Kevin Fiala over shots I like. For the Kings, I like Kempe to score a goal. Those are definitely some of the props I like. And like I say, I'm interested in the over and possibly even Arizona team total over 2.5 if it's Jonathan Quick and net. All right,
I do like that Arizona over total you're going with there. Even last night, Quick pulled out the win, but yeah, he gave up 2 on 10 shots. Yeah. So he's not very trustable right now. So I do like that angle there. That's a good find there.
All right, and it's only 2.5. That's what I like about it. When you take these dogs, often their team total, it's only 2.5. All right, Detroit Red Wings, Seattle Kraken, Seattle minus 180, home favorite, 6.5 the total. Detroit sweeping, getting the brooms out, sweep hard, real hard, like they say in curling, sweep. Detroit sweeping Western Canada, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, winning all 3 games. This is the end of the trip. So do you think letdown? But I've seen teams finish off these trips and sweep them all. And I know Seattle bounced back. It was a great game by Seattle. I couldn't believe how they just bombed Philadelphia like that, coming back home off that road trip. But they did give them credit. But Red Wings are playing too nicely right now to not take plus 150 with them at the moment. So I'm on the Red Wings here, plus 150. Even though this is tricky, this is the end of the road trip. I'm sure they're excited to get back home. No question about that. Could they stink up the joint? Yeah, possibly. But they're really playing well. They've won 5 in a row. The Red Wings. Dylan Larkin's a man possessed right now. I think any kind of props you look at with the Detroit Red Wings, you've got to look at Larkin. He's been just a machine of late for the Detroit Red Wings, scoring goals in bunches for this team, left and right, with a little thanks. And Robbie Fabry, he's starting to heat up for the Detroit Red Wings as well. I think those are great goal props tonight in this game. Good player props in general here tonight for this matchup. As far as goaltending goes, we expect Ville Husso, although not confirmed yet, for this game for the Red Wings. Grubauer has been the guy they've been rolling with lately. Martin Jones has kind of, declined and regressed as we expected. And I think Dave Haxtell's realizing Grubauer's starting to get his game back, and we're going to rock with him now as our number 1 moving forward. So, yeah, this is just a Detroit team that's playing just too well right now. Kubalik came to life in the last game, so maybe with Raymond still out, you go back to the well with Dom Kubalik. He had a great game against Calgary the other night. Seattle, I mean, if you're going to bet props with them, Tolvanen, is obviously worth a look. McCann's actually started to get things going. Beniers finally got back on the score sheet, starting to get into the groove again. So I definitely like Detroit here. I'd probably have to lean over 6.5 simply because Detroit, during this win streak, they've been scoring goals and their games have been going over the total. So I would lean with the over 6.5 here. And Detroit's trending very heavily to the over. So yeah, definitely if I'm playing the total, I'm looking over 6.5. Alex, what do you think here? Red Wings crack.
Yes, another West Coast game. I'm going to be looking for the live over and drop down to 5.5. This one I don't want to wait for plus money. I'll lay $1.20 or $1.25, but I want to get the better number in this game. Like I said, with the end of the road trip, I definitely can see this one being a back and forth kind of a track meet affair. Maybe not so much early, so I think that we can get that value secured. And like I said, that's been kind of the mantra, draw season. But last night I also did really well with those late games, hitting the live next to score props. So that's something I'll definitely be doing. Of course, watching that ABC game, I'll be watching these late games and looking for more live action, in-game action after that one ends.
No doubt. All right, what do you think here on this one, Kevin? Red Wings Kraken.
Yeah, you read my mind. Dylan Larkin has been a machine lately. So I'm just playing simply that over 2.5 shots. 8 of the last 10, he's hit it, and he's been hitting it pretty easily. So just that's the most value I see right there, and that's the one I'm going to play on it.
I love it. Yeah, the shots, anything Dylan Larkin, shots on goal over, goal score prop, point prop, anything Dylan Larkin. He's been cooking with gas lately for the Detroit Red Wings. All right, Buffalo Sabres, San Jose Sharks, Buffalo -125, road favorites, 7 the total at most books, but there are still a couple 6.5s. If you can find the 6.5, I did play over 6.5, but as always, this could be the Alex approach. Wait for a better total, better number, better price in game live. You could do that as well. But I did bet over 6.5 with -140. Again, it's 7 at most books. So you could either find the 6.5 or wait till in game. I like Buffalo here. Cheap price. Maybe they got back on track. Buffalo showed you they could beat a bad team when they beat Anaheim. And they've got, to me, this is just a cheap price. If you match up Buffalo versus San Jose, Buffalo's got a lot more to work with. Do they have their bad games? Yes. But keep in mind, a lot of the losses for the Sabres were against some better competition than what they're going to face here against the San Jose Sharks. So I do like the Sabres here, -125, as well as over 6.5. You could look and wait in game. If you like props, I always say Meyer and Carlson until they get traded. Over shots or points or goals are worth a look. Barabanov is really undervalued still for San Jose. He scored the other night. And for Buffalo, Dylan Cousins, anything with him, point or goal prop. Shots on goal, Alex Tuck. We've been on over 2.5 with him every single game. We're back to that. Dahlin, I like his goal, shots on goal over. He's been going over repeatedly from the blue line, and he's been getting the job done and shooting the puck a lot. So those are 2 excellent shots on goal props right there, in my opinion. Tuck and Dahlin on the Buffalo side. Alex, what do you think here? Sabres and Sharks.
It pains me to have to lay a price with Buffalo at San Jose when for years and years we've been cashing gigantic dog prices in this particular matchup. And so it's just like I'm looking back at when I saw this game up last night, I was looking through like the historical stuff. I'm just like kind of just sitting there and just shaking my head like, oh, those were the days of cashing Buffalo plus 395 or 420 against better San Jose competition. But obviously things change over time, and here we have a decent Buffalo team against a really bad San Jose team. Just can't figure out the things, get out of their own way. So I would lead with laying the $1.25 with Buffalo, but I'm more than likely going to be looking, like I said, first period and full game, trying to get a better number adjusted in game. I definitely think we could see these numbers drop from that 7. If you see it 6.5, I think that's probably more prevalent everywhere. But wait for that to drop, obviously, to a 6 at least, but certainly if you get a 6.5, that should just be right over to a 5.5. Same thing with the 2s; that should drop down quickly to 1.5. And with that 1.5, I probably would wait to lay maybe $1.40. Certainly not trying to get greedy with the plus price. Just want to get the better number of that one. So definitely could see this one being high scoring throughout. More likely we'll be looking at those overs, but a definitely heavy lead to Buffalo. If that number were to come down to $1.20, $1.15, I probably would end up on Buffalo money line.
All right, and we don't have goalie confirmations. Keep in mind, they've got 3 goalies on the team on this road trip right now, Buffalo. Craig Anderson, UPL, and Eric Comrie, who got the start in the last game against Anaheim. So it's anybody's guess.
Could we possibly see an Aaron Dell revenge sighting for the Sharks?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, there's no revenge when you're not very good.
Right.
Yeah, and that's Aaron Dell right now for San Jose. But they might put him in there just because Buffalo used to be with them, and maybe David Quinn plays a hunch and puts
we get a Dell versus Comrie sighting. Yeah, this is screamed over.
Yeah, definitely. And Comrie in his first start back looked a little rusty. He didn't face a ton of shots. He still gave up 3 goals to Anaheim the other night. What do you think here, Kevin? Sabres Sharks.
Yeah, this is another one I'm just looking at. One prop that I like the most to play. Dahlin, as you mentioned, over 2.5 shots. It's plus money right now for me, 105, and 6 of the last 10 he's hit that. So When he's hitting it more often than not, and you give me plus money, that's something I'm going to play. And he's fired five on net of each of the last 2 games, so he's been peppering a little more as of late. And for me, that's the one I'm going to take.
I think you mean over 3.5 at a plus price, right? Is it 3.5, or is it actually 2.5 at a plus price for you?
I think I had 2.5.
Really? At a plus price?
I can double check that for you.
Wow. I'd love to know what book had that. Holy shit. That is that is a great price on his prop. If it was 2.5 at a plus price. Let me just, it is 2.5 at a plus price. I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah. You're right. 100%. Yeah. Over 2.5 with the plus. I'm thinking of Tuck. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Darlene is 2.5 plus price everywhere. Yeah. Got it mixed up with Tuck. Tuck is still a good price here. -135, -140 for his over 2.5. So, and he's been shooting the puck a shit ton lately as well for the Buffalo Sabres, no doubt about that. All right, final game of the night, and this is a great late night game to whet our appetite here. Tampa Bay Lightning, Vegas Golden Knights. Tampa Bay -125, road favorites, 6 the total. Lightning coming off that 1-0 loss against Arizona, where they really didn't play that bad. I mean, they were all over Arizona. But like I say, people will say, oh, you bet Arizona that night because you said they'd be flat. Well, they weren't flat. They outshot Arizona heavily. I'm not saying flat in terms of effort necessarily, flat in terms of execution. Sometimes when you're playing these bad teams, you think you can just, score goals easily, and you're trying to be too cute with your finish. And that's what happened with Tampa that night. I think now playing Vegas off a loss, you'll get a good performance from them. This is a tough game. I mean, I don't really love ever betting against Tampa Bay off a loss, but they're laying a price on the road. I've mentioned how their road performances this year. They're right around 500 on the road. Vegas is playing good hockey. Not their best game against San Jose, far from their best game, but they found a way to win, and that's all that matters. And that's what the Golden Knights are doing. Their defensive game has looked great. Aiden Hill's been solid in net with Logan Thompson injured. It'll probably be Hill and Vasilevsky, you would assume, in net here in this game. Vasilevsky, though, has been really good. And the reason why they beat Dallas and Colorado the first 2 games of this road trip. So really tough game, side and total. It's one of those games where it could go over, it could stay under. Tampa could win, Vegas could win. I'd stick more to props. Victor Hedman over shots on goal, a prop I like here in this game for the Lightning. He's been trending that way lately for them. What else here have we got in terms of the shots mark? Jack Eichel props. He's starting to pick up his production again ever since he ran into our guy, Alex B. Smith in Minnesota last week. So, again, that's brought him good vibes, good juju, if you will, since that happened. So keep an eye on that. And there's a couple other here that I'm just looking at here for Tampa Bay and Vegas. Alex, you go ahead, talk about this game, and I'll get to it in a second. What do you think here, Alex? Lightning, Golden Knights.
You mentioned about how this could go either way really with the sides, and usually that kind of screams to me the draw. But especially with these 2 teams, like I said, they're playing more sound defense. Vasilevsky has been on fire. We know when he gets rocking and rolling, it's hard to get that many past him. But Aiden Hill has held his own, obviously, filling in for Logan Thompson. He's been solid in the backup role. And I don't think he's at that point yet where we have to start worrying about his minutes and how many starts he gets. I think that will come in due time. I think this will be close enough where this will be a smaller draw. It's not one of my favorite draws on the board, but I definitely would take a shot here, plus 335, with this one to go past regulation.
Yeah. Oh, a couple from the Detroit-Seattle game. I'm just see how they got so many million screens up. I didn't get to this in the Detroit-Seattle game, but Tolvanen over shots, Sider over shots, and Bertuzzi over shots have been trending lately over. So there's a couple more to consider in that game with Detroit and Seattle. But yeah, the draw, I think the draw, I might even put a couple bucks on the draw. This feels like 2-2, 3-3 after regulation. I think it is going to be a pretty close, competitive, pretty hard fought, and pretty good hockey game. Looking forward to it. Kevin, what do you think here? Final game, Tampa Bay, Vegas.
Yeah, I was just looking at Lightning money line. I know you do have to pay a little bit. I know the Knights have won a couple games here after kind of slumping a little bit, so they've kind of maybe refound their game. Actually, they've won 4. I think Tampa Bay is just the better team overall here. I think overall the last few weeks, I think Tampa Bay's been playing better, and I just look for a bounce back from their stars after kind of getting shut out from Arizona. They peppered 47 against Arizona. They were hitting posts. They were all over that net. I think I think they're going to get a good start to this game, and their stars are gonna come through here and put some goals past the night. So I'm just looking at kind of almost like a revenge game for the Lightning. Just after getting shut out, after having 47 shots, I just look for that bounce back factor that we've seen from them over the last few years so often. That's what I'm kind of going to the well with here.
All right, like in Tampa Bay is Kevin in this one. Tampa Bay minus 125. And yeah, sometimes when you have 40 plus shots and you get shut out one game, the floodgates open the next. I've seen that happen before. And we'll see if the Lightning bounce back and get the offense back on track tonight against Vegas in a very good late night game. All right, that's the Saturday card. Over 300 live viewers. We can't appreciate enough how much we appreciate that. Hit the like button. Express enough how much we appreciate that. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. And shout out to our podcast listeners. We will be back to wrap up this mammoth edition of the Ice Guys show with best bets right after we hear from Manscaped. Support for the Ice Guys is brought to you by Manscaped, our good friends at Manscaped, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, courtesy of the Ice Guys. Get 20% off of any purchase and free worldwide shipping with the promo code Ice Guys. That's promo code Ice Guys, all one word, ICEGUYS at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 400 million balls that you can help preserve with manscaped.com using the promo code Ice Guys. You get the Performance Package 4.0. It is a game changer. The Lawnmower 4.0. It takes care of this, among other things. It'll keep you trim as can be. The Lawnmower 4.0, waterproof. Same thing with the Weed Whacker, which takes care of your ear hair, nose hair. I mean, nose hair in particular. You know, I'm getting up there in age, and nose hair is becoming definitely more of an issue. This will take care of it. It feels like someone's tickling the inside of your nostrils sometimes. It pisses the hell out of me. It bothers me. I need to take care of that shit. This will take care of it for you. The Weed Whacker. Make part of the package that you get with your Manscaped purchase and the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. You also get the ball toner. You also get the ball deodorant, keep you smelling good and looking good and feeling good down in the nether regions. This package is really going to make you feel good and look good and look better, slim, trim. That's what it's all about. And manscaped.com can help you out with that. So make sure you take advantage of this. Manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code IceGuys at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the promo code IceGuys. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right, we're back here on the Ice Guys and ready to wrap with best bets for this Saturday edition of the show. Alex, we'll start with you. What do you like for best bet?
You know what? Because this is such a big card, I'm giving y'all two for the price of none. We're going to go with both draws. We're going to go with the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. Of course, the Stadium Series outdoor game that'll be tonight on ABC. We're going with regulation draw over 360. And we're also going with the late game, the New York Rangers and the Calgary Flames. With that, pardon me, scratch that. That would be the Columbus and Dallas is the second best bet. We're going Columbus Blue Jackets, Dallas Stars. That's over 395, with Dallas cashing in 6 of 8 games going past regulation back to back. We've seen that, saw it last night with that crazy game against the Wild. Definitely think this could be one of those kind of tough spots where Columbus jumps out early, but Dallas comes back late, forces OT. So let's go CBJ and the Stars, and let's go Caps and Canes. Both draws, both best bets for this big Saturday card.
Wow, I love it. 2 big draw bets north of plus 300. What's that? That's almost plus 400 on that Columbus Dallas one.
It is, yeah. 395 is what I got, and 360 for the other.
Yeah.
So.
There you go. Let's get some overtime, baby. Washington, Carolina, Columbus, Dallas. 2 draws for Alex P. Smith. Yep, draw season is here. We got to get the hashtags going. Draw season. Draw SZN or something like that.
Might maybe get a T-shirt going too.
There we go. Draw season is here. Yep, I like it. Kevin Beach, great job. Killed it again. Great analysis. Great on the props, especially. Kevin, what do you like for best bet here?
Best bet, give me the machine, Dylan Larkin right now. Over 2.5 minus 134. 8 of the last 10 games, he's hit this, and he's just carrying that team every way right now. But he's absolutely just firing the puck on net. So give me Dylan Larkin as my best bet over 2.5.
There you go. That's Dylan Larkin, over 2.5 shots on goal for the Detroit Red Wings. Best bet for Kevin Beach, and my best bet for this Saturday card. Man, this is a big card to choose from. I got to admit, it's not the easiest to choose a best bet on a card like this, but I'm going to go with the Buffalo Sabres minus 120 against San Jose. I think it's a cheap price. Sabres got well against Anaheim. They needed a win in the worst way. I think that gets everybody feeling good again. And again, cheap price. And it's been a good run for Buffalo playing in San Jose over the years. Sabres minus 120 over the Sharks for my best bet. That'll wrap up this edition of the Ice Guys. What a huge show. We hope you enjoy the Saturday card. It's a massive one. We appreciate everyone joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. Check out patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 a month. Our bonus video content is there. Daily goalie charts, totals charts, power ratings, Ice Guys betting card, all that and more. Patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 a month. And our betcast, our next one is Tuesday night, February 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Our next Ice Guys Betcast. It's a huge Tuesday slate. Join us. DM me or email bobano350@gmail.com if you want to join us on the Betcast Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're looking forward to it. Always fun. Make sure you have your fridges stocked as always, because we do some drinking on the Betcast, and it always makes it more fun and enjoyable. Great stuff from Alex B. Smith and from Kevin Beach. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on Sunday for another edition of the Ice Guys presented by National Hockey Now.